How does Chef Lovey's restaurant actually work? Understand the system as connected components plus introduce the idea of bottlenecks and flow. Yesterday, Chef Lovey had a dream. She wanted everyone to taste her food. But before we make her restaurant bigger, there is one thing we need to understand. How does her restaurant actually work? Because if you don't understand how something works when it's small, how are we ever going to design it when it becomes huge? And this is one of the first habits you need to develop as a system designer. Don't immediately start adding technology. First, understand the system. Let's follow just one customer. Imagine you walk into Chef Lovey's restaurant. You sit down, the waiter comes to you, you look at the menu, you place your order, the waiter takes your order to the kitchen, Chef Lovey receives the order, she prepares your food, the waiter picks it up and brings it back to you. Simple, right? But look carefully. Did the customer directly go into the kitchen? No. Did Chef Lovey personally go to every table? No. Did the waiter cook the food? No. Every part has a responsibility. Now let's make our restaurant a little more realistic. We need somewhere to keep vegetables, storage, somewhere to keep plates, storage, someone to take payments, cashier, somewhere for customers to sit, tables, and of course, our kitchen. Suddenly, our restaurant doesn't look like one thing anymore. It looks like many different pieces working together, and that is a system. Multiple components working together toward a goal. In our case, the goal is simple serve the customer. That's our system. So far, everything looks perfect. But remember, Chef Lovey doesn't want to serve 10 customers. She wants everyone to taste her food. Let's see what happens when the restaurant gets busy. 10 customers, the waiter can handle it. 20, still manageable. 50, now things are getting uncomfortable. One person is doing too many things. Chef Lovey notices the problem and she makes a very simple decision. Instead of asking one waiter to do everything, she hires another waiter. Now, waiter 1 handles tables 1 to 4, waiter 2 handles table 5 to 8. And suddenly, the restaurant feels much better. Orders are being taken faster, food is reaching customers faster, nobody is running around like crazy. Chef Lovey smiles, but Chef Lovey isn't done. More customers, more work, so Chef Lovey adds more capacity where she needs it. Seems like the perfect solution. But there is a problem. Chef Lovey added more waiters, but she didn't add more cooking capacity. Now, 10 waiters are sending orders to one kitchen. Customers are waiting, waiters are waiting, everyone is waiting for the same thing, Chef Lovey. So the problem wasn't really the number of waiters, the problem was somewhere else. This narrow point is the bottleneck. And in Chef Lovey's restaurant, the kitchen has become our bottleneck, the part of a system that limits the overall flow. And this is very important system design idea. When a system becomes slow, don't just randomly add more things. First ask, where is the bottleneck? Because if you fix the wrong part, you haven't really solved the problem. And now we are starting to think like system designer. We don't look at the restaurant as just a restaurant. We break it into smaller parts. We understand what each part does. We understand how those parts communicate. And when something becomes slow, we find the bottleneck. That's the mindset we are going to use throughout this course.